Well, today we shall discuss those problems I had sent. Problem set 6. And hope we have tried these problems. Did you try? Problems. Problem set 6. So problem number 1, what is your answer for this? What is this problem number 1 here? It is given that R regular graph connected. This is connected. R regular. Number of body cells is 12. And it is basically a planar graph, a regular planar graph. When it is embedded in a plane, it results 8 regions or 8 faces. So anyway, this is taken to be a planar only, planar graph, and number of faces f is equal to 8. So value of r. Value of r. So did you try this problem? How can you proceed this? See, it is planar and connected graph. It is planar, connected, and that regular graph. So you can, of course, that is simple. Okay, simple should be also there. No, we can use that Euler's formula. To use this Euler's formula, we have to find out the edges, number of edges, right? That Euler's formula, you know that n minus e plus f is equal to 2. So here, if it is a regular graph, then this r can be written in terms of n and e. Okay, r can be written in terms of n and e. So then we can find out this value of e from here. It is given n and f are given. Okay, n is, oh sorry, this is 8. No, not 12. No, okay, 12, only 2. 12 bodies are there. So n and f are given. N is 12, f is 8. Only thing is that we have to express this e in terms of r or n maybe. That you get from first theorem of graph theory, and then substitute the value here. Okay, so here you take that this from the first theorem of graph theory, you get if it is r regular graph, nr is equal to twice e. That's what you will get. Okay, fine. And value of n is 12, and therefore you get this 12r is equal to twice e, or e you write in terms of r, that is 6r. So now you substitute the values here, that n is given to be 12, e is equal to 6r, and f is equal to 8, this is equal to 2. This is what you get the equation, right? So, or in other words, you get this 6r is equal to, here you get this one is how much? Okay, in the other side, if you take, it is all right that okay, 12, then okay, fine. So here 20 minus 2, so this is 18, right? And you get r is equal to 3. It is all right, students? It is clear to you or any problem? Can you listen to me? So can you listen
Yes,
to me?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, no response from your side at all.
I'm sorry, I just joined right now.
Okay, you joined maybe right now, but what about others? Some students have joined actually before you also. No response from your side. And okay, tell me. Here, of course, prove that on the graph G is a planar graph. If G is a planar graph of order n less than or equal to, order means number of body cells. G planar and number of body cells, that is order. Of course, it is taken n is less than or equal to 11. Then one can prove that there is a vertex in the graph G with degree less than or equal to 4. So you have to show that, there exists a vertex in the graph with degree of x less than or equal to 4, 4 or less. How can you prove this? Whether you have tried, has anybody tried this problem? Can you give any idea how to proceed, how to prove? So tell me if you have any idea that how to prove this one. So we can prove by method of contradiction. Suppose degree of every vertex is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, then what contradiction we can have? So assume the contrary, that degree of every vertex greater than or equal to 5. Suppose degree of every vertex B is greater than or equal to 5 for all vertices B in the graph G. Suppose this thing happens. Then what contradiction we will get? See here, number of vertices n is less than or equal to 11. It is given. Okay. So that also we can use. Before that, you tell me, in a planar graph on n number of vertices, a planar graph can have at the most how many edges? So E be the number of edges. You tell me that for this planar graph here, this a number of vertices E can have that less than or equal to 3n minus 6, right? Number of edges in a simple planar graph. Here we can consider that this be a simple planar graph. Simple planar graph. Okay, that simple condition I think I could have included here. So here for a simple planar graph, we get that E is less than or equal to 3n minus 6, upper bound for number of edges, right? E is less than or equal to 3n minus 6. And also we get a bound for E from this degree of that first theorem of graph theory. Summation of degree of x is equal to degree of V, say that V belongs to vertex set of G is equal to twice total number of edges. If degree of every vertex is greater than or equal to 5, then you get that twice E is greater than or equal to n number of vortices. So here 5n. This is what you will get. Right. Then now this E is greater than or equal to 5 by 2n. You substitute this value here. E is less than or equal to 3n minus 6. So this gives you that 5 by 2n is less than or equal to 3n minus 6. And after simplification, you will get that here this 5n is less than or equal to, multiply by 2, so 6n minus 12. See, we are getting this inequality, right? If degree of every vortex is greater than or equal to 5, then we get this inequality. If degree of every vortex is greater than or equal to 5, right? So let us see, this inequality is true for which values of n? Which values of n? Here it is given that n, the number of vortices, that is order of the graph, is less than or equal to 11. Okay, let me go to the next page. Where is this cursor? Okay. So tell me what contradiction we are getting here. What contradiction we are getting here? N is less than or equal to 11. Whether this inequality we have got is true for n less than or equal to, whether this is true for n less than or equal to 11. The question is that this inequality will hold true for n less than or equal to 11. What is your answer? Are you listening to me? Whether you get this inequality? Say for example,
Yes.
n equal to
Yes,
11,
ma'am.
what happens? Huh? This holds true. Huh?
No, ma'am.
Is this inequality true for n less than or equal to 11?
No, ma'am.
Say when n is equal to 11. Huh? Right, right. What about the other students? Student, are you there? Not responding? Karthikeyan? No. What happened? That you students are not responding, not trying at all. I'll be just doing myself here, solving the problems. Huh? So what should I do? Shall I continue or stop here? If no response
No,
from
ma'am.
your side,
No, ma'am.
then
Listening.
I'll stop. So what happens to this inequality when n equal to 11? Whether this inequality
Ma'am,
holds true for
it
n
does.
equal to
It
11?
does not hold. It does not hold true.
Okay, it does not hold true. Right? Then this is a contradiction, right? That 5 into 11, that you are getting here 55. And here this side you are getting, okay, this value will get 54, I feel. Okay, so doesn't hold true. Answer is no here. Right? So therefore we get that this is a contradiction. Okay. So this is a contradiction, and hence that there is that our assumption was that degree of every vortex is greater than equal to 5. Therefore we get this contradiction when n is less than or equal to 11. Therefore, we always get a vertex x in the graph, so that degree of x is less than or equal to 4. Whenever n is less than or equal to 11, right? So therefore, we get this result. Okay, fine. Till next one, prove or disprove. If G is a planar bipartite graph, then G has a vertex of degree 3 or less. You can prove this in the similar way, that in case of planar bipartite graph, in case of planar bipartite graph, that E actually, just remember that, I mean, for a planar bipartite graph, I mean, the process is same as above. Only thing, you use this inequality for a planar bipartite graph. E is less than or equal to twice n minus 4. Okay, use it. Right, just you use this one and proceed exactly similar way as the previous problem, the problem number 2. Okay, use it and then you proceed. You'll able to get that. Okay, so this is actually, you'll prove this is correct actually. There is a vertex of degree 3 or less. Here you assume that degree of every vertex is greater than or equal to 4, then you get a contradiction. So here it is true, you prove it. So this problem number 3. Okay, in the similar way, so I'm not, writing everything here in detail. You try, I am giving you this hint. So you can prove it, this is true, this statement given here is true, and you prove exactly in the similar way as in problem number 2, except this bound you have to use for number of edges. E is less than or equal to 2n minus 4. This is what you use and then proceed. Okay, fine. Problem number 4. Problem number 4 is also prove that every simple connected planar graph has a vertex of degree at most 5. So here actually, for every simple connected planar graph, I mean here G is simple connected and planar. So here you have to show that there exists a vertex in the graph such that degree of this vertex x is, less than or equal to degree of x is less than or equal to 5. This is what you have to show. Okay. So in every simple connected planar graph, you can always find a vertex whose degree will be less than or equal to 5. In a simple connected planar graph, degree of every vertex cannot be greater than 5. It says that. So how do you prove this one? Again, in the similar way, you proceed actually. In the similar way that, by method of contradiction, again, you can assume that suppose degree of every vertex is greater than or equal to, 6, and then you'll get the contradiction. Okay, proceed exactly in the similar way. That if degree of every vertex is greater than or equal to 6 for all vertex V in the graph, then get a contradiction in the similar way. Then get contradiction. Contradiction is problem that okay, as problem 2, similar way as in problem number 2. Okay, in this way, that exactly the similar way you proceed and you'll able to do. Well, what is problem number 5? Problem number 5, it says that every n vertex simple planar graph is, isomorphic to its dual edge 2n minus 2 edges. Every n vertex simple planar graph is isomorphic to its dual graph. Here G is planar graph. This is simple planar, and if G is isomorphic to its dual, okay, this is the dual graph. G star is the dual graph. Then you have to show that 2n, this number of edges will be in the graph, number of edges will be 2n minus 2. Okay, to show that number of edges in this graph is 2n minus 2. The graph is 2n minus 2 number of edges. How can you prove this? Do you remember the dual graph? How we have drawn this dual graph?
By exchanging the faces and the edges.
Yeah. So therefore, see, look at the parameters. For the graph G, suppose the number of vertices we denote by n, edges by e, number of faces by f. And suppose this G star, the number of vertices be n star, number of edges say e star, number of faces by x star. So these notations we use. These are the notations. We consider these notations. This is for number of vertices, number of edges, number of faces in G star. Okay. So if G is planar, then G star is also planar. How? Yeah, exchanging this vertices and faces. Okay. So therefore, how they are related? This, numbers. What was this F star? Okay. One by one we'll proceed. So number of vertices n star. N star was, what was n star? In terms of parameters of the graph G. So how we were drawing this dual graph? Every corresponding to every face, we were considering
Yes, ma'am. It's F. It's equal to F.
Yes, n star. Yeah, very good. N star is equal to F. Yes, very good. And then, here edges also you remember, corresponding to every edge in the graph G, we were constructing an edge of the dual graph. So therefore, E star is equal to E, right?
E.
Yes.
Yes.
So since both are planar graphs, now that you get n is equal to F star from that Euler's formula, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, from Euler's formula, since both the graph G and G star are planar graphs, both of them will satisfy that Euler's formula, n minus E plus F is equal to 2. And similarly, n star minus E star plus F star is also equal to 2. Okay, so from this equation, if we equate these two equations, then the remaining you get this F star is equal to n. This is what you get. Okay, so these, parameters, number of vertices, edges, and faces in the dual graph, and the graph they are related like this, right? So now you use these relations. Here it is given that G and G star, they are isomorphic. Isomorphic means they have the same graph theoretic properties. Number of vertices, edges, faces, everything is same. Both the graphs are same. Isomorphic means they are exactly same graph, just that may be drawn in different manner, different way. Otherwise, they are the same graph, right? So here you substitute, they are having the number of vertices, edges, faces, all are same. So here in this equation, you Therefore, substitute that. I mean, okay, you have to prove that number of edges in the graph is 2n minus 2, right? So how do you get this one? Number of edges is 2n minus 2. So now you are having this equation n minus e. Well, since they are isomorphic, okay, let me write. Since G is isomorphic to its dual, that this number of, I mean, vortices that, I mean, they will have the same number of, I mean, all these parameters, phases. See, that n is equal to, actually, you get that n is equal to, right, f star, and f star is equal to, so this, I mean, they are isomorphic means, let me write down, they are isomorphic means that n is equal to n star, e is equal to e star, and f is equal to f star. I mean, they are ultimately the same graph. That is why these parameters will agree. N is equal to n star, e is equal to e star, and f is equal to f star. So from here, do you get that? I mean, this n is equal to f, n is equal to n star, and that is equal to your f, this value. N equal to f, you substitute here, that we are having this Euler's formula n minus e plus f is equal to 2. So therefore, you substitute this, I mean, n equal to f. So therefore, you will get that 2n minus e is equal to 2, or other words, that e is equal to 2n minus 2. This is how we prove actually. Number of edges will be 2n minus 2 if they are isomorphic. Well, then next, here one definition is given. Here definition is given that we say that a simple planar graph is a maximal planar graph if no new edge can be included without disturbing planarity. Okay, and also a simple planar graph is called a triangulation if the length of all its faces equal to 3. Okay, so triangulation means length of, that is a planar graph. I mean, triangulation means that is planar. I mean, that is planar with length of every face equal to 3. Length of every face equal to 3. That is called a triangulation. Say, for example, your this K4 is a triangulation, right? K4 is a one example of a triangulation. That length of every face is equal to 3. See, and see maximal planar. Suppose you are having a planar graph, right, like this. Say, suppose you are having a planar graph. Suppose in this way, that suppose you are having a planar graph, I am considering in this way. Suppose I have considered a planar graph. See, this is not a maximal planar graph. Maximal planar graph and triangulation, they are the same graph actually. That maximal planar means here, I mean, if you cannot include any more edges, so that the graph will still remain planar. Here we can include edges. This is not a maximal planar graph, neither a triangulation. Triangulation means length of every face will be equal to 3. So here we can, I mean, add some more edges. Say triangulation means length of every face will be equal to 3 here. So that, still the length of outer face is more than equal to 3, or still we can able to add edges, so that the resultant graph will be a planar graph, right? So this is simple graph basically. Okay, so still we can add some more edges so that the planarity will not be disturbed. So this is a simple graph. Triangulation means simple graph, right? And this is not yet a triangulation. We can have some more edges, okay, without disturbing the planarity of this graph, right? So this is, that length of outer face is not equal to 3. You see, length of outer face in the boundary, you are having still some more. This is all, if I draw this one, right, then if I draw this graph, this is, look at the length of this. Oh, okay. This is the length of all these internal faces is equal to 3 here, except the outer one. What is the length of outer face? What is the length of outer face? Length of outer face is equal to, what is the length of outer face here in this graph? Tell me this length of outer face. Can anyone say? What is the length of outer face?
It's 4.
4, yes, you are correct. So this is not a triangulation, right? This is not a triangulation. Length of outer face is equal to length of outer face is equal to 4. So therefore this is not a triangulation, right? This is not a triangulation. This is not a triangulation because length of outer face is 4, right? That length of outer face is 4, right? Is it a maximal planar graph? Is it maximal planar? Is it a maximal planar graph? Is it a maximal planar graph? Tell. Maximal planar graph means this is simple graph and this you have to keep it simple. Maximal planar means simple and no further edge can be included without disturbing its planarity, right? So simple, maximal planar graph means here simple.
No, ma'am, it is not maximal planar.
Yeah, if you add
It
any
is
other edge, then it won't be simple graph actually, right? So this is one example, example of a maximal planar graph, but not a
oh yes, ma'am.
triangle,
Sorry. Yeah.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, maximal planar graph. This is one example of a maximal planar graph. Further edge we cannot include. It will disturb its planarity. Okay. So this is, and what about, okay, triangulation? I have already told you that K4 is one example of a triangulation, right? That K4 you can draw like this, you know that, and that you just look at here, that length of every face is equal to that 3 here. Length of every face is equal to 3, right? Here, this is one example of a triangulation. Like this, we can draw actually that many triangulation you can have. You can draw triangulation. Okay, problem number 6 actually one you can try that maximal planar graphs as well as triangulations are always connected graph. Triangulations and maximal. See, maximal planar graph will always be connected. Okay, that problem number 6. Just I'll give you a hint. If that is disconnected, okay. Suppose you are having a planar. In one component it is like this, other component say it is like this. If a graph is consist of say at least two components, it won't be a maximal planar because always you can add some more edges, right, between these two components. Always you can include some new edges so that the resultant graph will still remain planar, right? So it cannot be too disconnected actually, right? If it is, you have more than one components, then you can add edges between these components and still get it is planar actually. Planarity will not be disturbed. So therefore it won't be a maximal planar.
Ma'am, in that graph, you have to add another edge to make it maximal planar.
Yeah. So many edges. That's what I'm saying.
Not this graph, ma'am. Not this graph. The above graph.
You are saying no.
No,
Yeah,
ma'am.
maximal. So many edges you need. I can draw
No,
so
ma'am.
many edges.
The above graph, ma'am.
Oh, which one? This one?
Yes, ma'am.
This example, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is that edge you are finding that? It should remain planar also.
Yes, ma'am. There is one more edge.
Which one? Where still you can include edge, so the planarity should not be disturbed. Where I can include?
Yes, ma'am. From that point to.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Above.
Okay. This way, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is maximal planar, and this is now it is triangulation. Yes, you are correct. So now it is a triangulation, right? It is a triangulation now. Yes, you are correct. So, what's your name? Rohan? Are you Rohan? No.
No, ma'am. He was Vishwas. He was Vishwas. Vishwesh, I guess.
Okay. Yes, still we can include yes. And now it is a triangulation, yes. Maximal planar, yes, you are correct. Fine, this is a good observation. Yeah. Okay, then problem number 6, maximal planar graphs and triangulations, they are always connected. You assume that they cannot have more than one component. If two components are there, then you will get contradiction. Then the problem number 7, actually it says that some statements are equivalent for a simple n vertex planar graphs. What are those statements? If the graph has 3n minus 6, that maximum number of edges, then it will be a triangulation. They are all equivalent and maximal planar graph. Okay, so easily, you can prove here, you have to prove that these three statements are equivalent, that h number of edges that achieves this. These are true for planar graphs actually. Okay, the number of edges is 3n minus 6 if and only if these statements are equivalent, that G is triangulation, and if and only if this is maximal planar. Okay, so G is maximal planar. Whenever a graph is a maximal planar graph, it will be a triangulation, right? They are all equivalent. So can you prove that these three statements are equivalent?
Ma'am,
huh?
I have one way. Like take a base case, like three points, and then they are connected. And then take another point. Now it will have two new edges. Wait. Ma'am, no. Yeah, it'll have three more edges. Ma'am, like you take a triangle, ma'am, first.
Okay. See, in general, you can proceed, right? How do you, proceed this one? Say three statements are equal. Okay, say suppose this first statement. When do you get this number of edges is equal to 3n minus 6? Do you remember that 3n minus 6? Do you remember that we have proved this result that E is less than or equal to 3n minus 6? How did you prove this one? From there you get this inequality will be equality. Just remember that this we were looking into that length of every face is at least 3. Okay, length of every face is greater than or equal to 3. That you know that twice E is equal to sum of length of all the faces. Okay, and when we are getting this length of all the faces is greater than or equal to 3, then we are getting this is greater than or equal to 3f. So from there actually we were obtaining that E is less than or equal to 3n minus 6. Okay, so this will be, you get equality if and only if this becomes equality, right? If this becomes equality, then only you will get that E is equal to 3n minus 6. E is equal to 3n minus 6 you get. So, and this will, whenever E is equal to 3n minus 6, it will force. This forces that this length of every face is equal to 3. Otherwise, you will not get equal to this 3n minus 6. Okay, from there that forces that length of every face is equal to 3, and hence it is a triangulation. So okay, and when this vice versa, actually this inequality. Similarly, length of every face is equal to 3, then you will get equality here, right? Twice E is equal to 3f, twice E is equal to 3f if it is a triangulation. For a triangulation. Triangulation means length of every face is equal to 3. And whenever you get this twice E is equal to 3f, this equality, then if you proceed in the similar way, then you will finally arrive at that E is equal to 3n minus 6. You will get that. Okay. And then maximal planar graph. Right, maximal planar graph, yes. Maximal planar graph means always that length of every face will be equal to 3. If length of some face is more than 3, okay, then length of some face is more than 3. Say length of some face is equal to 4. Then always you can include a new edge into that. So therefore, in a maximal planar graph, also length of every face will be equal to 3. Okay, this is how you argue actually. But these three statements are equivalent. Okay, fine. Think about this. Just I have told you the outline of proof of this. Another one, then next the problem number 8. Here it is given that triangulation. G is a triangulation. Means length of every face is equal to 3. Triangulation. And Ni is the number of vertices of degree I. Ni is number of vertices of degree I. Number of vertices of degree I in the graph. That is Ni, right? Then you have to prove this summation of 6. Okay, here you have to prove that summation 6 minus I times Ni is equal to 12. How do you prove this one? Again, it is a triangulation. It is a triangulation. See, what do you get this? Summation I and I. What is the value of this? Tell me. Summation I and I. What is the value of this? Summation I and I. First of all, summation of all ni is equal. Yeah, summation of all ni is equal to n. Okay, and summation I ni is equal to twice e you will get, right? Summation I ni means you are summing the degree of all the vortices. I is this ni is number of vortices of degree I. So therefore, this sum of degree of all the vortices is equal to summation I and I, and that is equal to twice E. And whenever it is triangulation, that value of E is equal to 3n minus 6, since it is a triangulation. And you get this 6n minus 12, 6n minus 12, this value you get 6n minus 12. Right. Again, okay. Okay, then one more equation you need, I think. Or from here.
The summation 6ni would give 6n. So from that, it will give 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me.
From the previous summation, 6ni.
Yeah. Summation 6ni. This value. Yes, this is equal to 6n. 6 take out and this ni is equal to n. So this is 6n. Right. So now where are you now? Okay, I think now you are done, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, now you are done. Yeah. Just you substitute here. That summation I ni is equal to here 6n 6n minus 12. Here summation that 6ni minus 12. Okay, that is how. Fine. You get the result like this. Yeah, good. Okay, so then next problem. Problem number 9. Okay, 9 is missing. 9 is not there. Okay, that problem was maybe out of your syllabus. That's why I had deleted. But numbering, I forgot to change the numbering. Okay, so 9 is not there. Okay. So then problem number 10 here. I'll come to this. Here the thickness of a graph is defined. You know, crossing number of a graph we have defined. Then next, another parameter here, this thickness of a graph. Thickness of a graph means that, I mean, if you are having a graph, if that is planar graph, then thickness will be 1. Thickness of a planar graph is 1. Suppose a graph is not a planar graph, I mean non-planar graph, then we will try to decompose the graph into subgraphs which are planar, into planar subgraphs. I mean, let me write that if G is planar, then thickness of G, usually this is denoted by theta G, is equal to 1. And if it is non-planar, okay, if G is non-planar, then you decompose G into planar subgraphs. Decompose G into planar subgraphs. And in that decomposition, you should have minimum possible number of planar subgraphs. And that minimum possible number of planar subgraphs which decompose G, that number is thickness of G. Then theta G is that minimum possible number of planar subgraphs in a decomposition of G. That minimum possible number of planar subgraphs, planar subgraphs in a decomposition of G. In a decomposition of G. Okay. So decomposition means, you remember? Again, let us recall what do you mean by decomposition. Decomposition means a collection of subgraphs. I mean, okay, just you recall that a collection, say H1, H2 to Hk, a collection H1, H2 to Hk of subgraphs of G. Here subgraphs of G is a decomposition of G, is a decomposition of G if this, they are all edge disjoints. They are all edge disjoints, that edge set of Hi intersection edge set of Hj. They are all edge disjoint, and union of their edges will be the set of all the edges in the graph G. I mean, this union of edge set in the subgraph, that union from 1 to k is equal to this set of all the edges in the graph, or they partition the edge set of the graph. They partition the edge set of the graph G. Okay, then that is called a decomposition. I mean, no two subgraphs will have any common edge. Okay, these subgraphs, they partition the edge set of the graph G, right? Okay, so this, I mean, thickness of a graph is also an important parameter. Like the crossing number, I have told you that in a circuit design or circuit layout, circuit layout, to avoid insulation layer and all, we should minimize the crossing number in a graph. So similarly here also, in thickness of a graph, this is application in that circuit layout in a silicon chip kind of thing. So what happens, that to avoid this insulation layer, say suppose you design that silicon chip into some layers kind of thing. So in each layer, actually in a layer you will have only planar drawing, no edge crossing. Then next layer, okay, next layer on the top of that, you consider the remaining edges. Again, that is a planar, actually planar drawing, no edge crossing. Okay, so only the planar arrangement of edges in layers, in every layers. So how many layers you can have in that chip? How many layers you need? Okay, always you will try to minimize the number of layers. So number of layers you need in that circuit layout will be the thickness of the graph. Did you get? What did I say? Okay, what will be the thickness of this K5? Thickness of K5 is equal to 2, right? It is not a planar graph anyway. That is why at least 2. You need 2 layers, right? I mean, in K5, so what I am saying, that in K5 you can keep some, say the body says, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, that, say here, I mean, I can keep these connections in one layer, and then remaining connections, say, what are the remaining one? Here only that 2, 3, 4, 5. These edges are missing. Suppose I will keep these edges in the next layer, and this 5, 3 is there. Okay, this 5, 3 edge is missing. Okay, so I will keep these 3 edges in the second layer, layer 1 and layer 2. So therefore thickness of K5 will be 2. So similarly thickness of K6. thickness of K6 is also 2. You'll able to manage in 2 layers, right? That decomposition of K6 into 2 planar graphs, planar subgraphs, right? So thickness of K6 will also be 2. Okay, for K7 also you can manage with 2 planar subgraphs. Up to K8, that is also 2 actually. You check with 2 layers you'll able to manage. Okay, however, if you go for this K9, you will not able to manage with 2 planar subgraphs. You cannot decompose. That will be equal to 3. Okay, you verify. Well, so this is what the thickness of a graph, and this is one important concept also. And the last one, that thickness of a graph is obviously greater than or equal to that m is the total number of edges, 3n minus 6. Why? Because the reason is that in a planar subgraph, in a planar graph on n number of vertices, maximum this many edges. If you cross this 3n minus c, then it won't be a planar, right? So maximum number of edges in a planar subgraph on n vertices is 3n minus 6. That is why m divided by this many edges. That is the minimum number of layers you can have, right? I hope you understood. That's all for today. It is already time also. Tell me if you have any query.
Ma'am, in the 10th question, like we can draw the minimal embeddings and then remove the edges which intersect, and like that's how we can create these these subgraphs actually, like
Thickness.
Thickness, yeah.
And like that's how we can proceed further.
Yeah. So for K6 also you'll able to manage with 2 layers, right? I mean,
Yes,
yeah. Do you understand that you'll able to manage that 2 subgraphs, 2 planar subgraphs that will cover all the edges?
Ma'am.
Tell.
Ma'am, then Peterson graph will also have a thickness of 2, right?
Yeah. Peterson graph also you can manage with 2 layers. Yes.
Yeah, because the K33 would have 2 layers. So since Peterson graph is a
yeah. For Peterson graph also thickness is 2. See, up to K8, see, you are able to manage with 2 layers, 2 planar subgraphs, which will cover all the edges. But for K9, you will try K9. I think K9 you need 1 more layer. 2 layers will not be covering all the edges. 2 planar subgraphs will not cover all the edges. Right. Okay, nice.
Yes,
any other question? Yeah, any other query?
Ma'am, does it have an upper bound?
For this thickness?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in fact, people have already, I mean, upper bound in general, I mean, okay.
That like not n, not n, like something less than n.
Less than n means?
Like you can always break a graph into.
Into how many planar subgraphs?
Yeah, like you can always break a graph into like 2 points and then you can do it, right? I'm asking about.
Yeah, the upper bounds you'll get. Definitely you'll get upper bounds, but those upper bounds may not be sharp upper bound. That upper bounds may not be sharp upper bound. Okay. And for complete graph, people have already given a formula. For complete graph, this thickness of a complete graph, there is a formula, in fact. Okay, if you are interested, search in the internet. I mean, people, solve some that research kind of problems related to this thickness of different graphs. One may also consider like crossing numbers. I think for thickness of Kn, you can verify there is a formula that n plus 7 divided by 6 and its floor function. Except this n equal to, for 9 and 10, it is not satisfying. For these cases, it is equal to 3. That theta of K9 and K10, it is equal to 3. Otherwise, for other complete graphs, it follows this formula, I think. Like this, some results are there. If you are interested, you can search and think over these problems also. Yeah, okay, fine. The next, any other query?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, bye. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.